There's something we need to talk about, but nobody wants to talk about it. It's like a thing in the industry. We all know about it. It's pretty common, but nobody really wants to talk about it. I think it's time to declare a yellow alert. Hello and welcome to Trucking Answers. I'm Mark, your bottle host. For those that were wondering, this is a water bottle that I have, of mine. But as we know, there are bottles that have things other than water. And I had an interesting discussion with Peter from Geeks Trucking. He wanted to make sure I mentioned his name. There we go. About this, we have some questions that we had a discussion about. Do you need placards on your truck to have these with you? Do you need a Haz-Mat endorsement? And can you carry them with you without getting a ticket? Like if an officer were to go into your truck and find them. This is an interesting discussion. This is the kind of thing you'll hear only here. You won't hear this on regular trucking channels, okay? But I do think it's an interesting thing since so many people seem to have them in their truck, and I get it, right? I understand why that might be. But I don't think there should be like a pile of them, like there's 50 of them in your truck or whatever, but I get that. And so I did a little bit of research, and here's what I found. So do you need a Haz-Mat endorsement on your license? No. And this goes the same along with placarding. Do you have to placard the truck? No. These would fall under 6.2, though, in the hazardous materials guides. True. But in the United States, 6.2 is not a placarded product. Okay, so you can get away without placards in your truck. Therefore, you wouldn't need a hazardous materials endorsement to have this in your truck. So could you get a ticket that way? No, it would appear no. I guess this is a perfect time to say, I'm not a lawyer. For legal advice, right, go seek an attorney of your choosing. Now, one question, though, that came up, can you carry them in your truck? Well, here's an interesting thing, and I'll put this on the screen here, the actual CFR number. There are regulations for packaging. Now, what I would actually like to talk to an attorney about, or somebody like that, is that only if it's packaged as a product that's being moved, like shipped, or is that if it's anywhere in the truck? Because there are specific packaging requirements, size, how the package is, that it's sealed, and how it's handled, and all this kind of thing. I don't mean size like a Powerade bottle versus a Mountain Dew bottle. For those of you, hey, no judgment. But the different sizes and packages and all that, and how it's handled and all that, there are specific packaging requirements for what would be considered biological waste, okay, under 6.2. That could maybe get you a ticket, maybe. Here's the thing, if an officer thought that was correct and wrote you a ticket, you'd have to go defend yourself in that. Either pay it, right, which you wouldn't want to do, or defend yourself in it, and that could cost you money and time. Even if he's wrong, you still have to go defend yourself. So you're better off carrying these for the least amount of time possible and in the least quantity possible. I guess the other side of this is, how often is the inside of your truck going to be inspected? Well, for me here at 33 and a half years of driving, that has been one time. One time, officers went in my truck and basically tossed it like they were looking for somebody. Threw everything out of the cabinets on the bed, flipped the bed up and everything, and then said, okay, you're free to go. But that's only been one time. So I don't know how often that happens. Probably not that often. Still, I kind of think this kind of thing is an interesting discussion because these are pretty prevalent, people leaving them around everywhere. I will tell you, you should certainly dispose of them properly. Suppose I have to drink from this one, or people are going to always wonder. I will say that still doesn't prove anything. Okay, but back to somewhat serious discussion about it. No placarding, so no Haz-Mat. All right, so that's off the table. But possible packaging, and I'd like to know from anybody, have you ever gotten in trouble for that from any kind of police or anything anywhere in the United States? I'd like to hear from anybody. I really couldn't find anything on the internet either where people are saying, oh yes, I got a ticket, this got me in trouble or whatever, and anything like that. I can't really find that anywhere, so it doesn't seem to be that big of a problem. I think in theory it could be. Maybe you're not nice to the officer, which I think everybody should always be polite to the DOT and any officer that stops you. or the officer's having a bad day, or they're new and want to make a name for themselves. So because they write you a ticket doesn't mean it's accurate. It's just their opinion, their interpretation of what happened, and then you have to go defend at the case or whatever like that. That's what we're doing here, having these deep discussions about things that affect trucking every day. They affect all of us every day. Well, my cup runneth over and my time runneth out. Thank you for watching.